Hawthorn, it's local snowfall only. It does not stop. It does not stop. How in early May it happens at the edges of fields, of pastures, sweet smelling blizzard that no weather satellite could ever detect. Impeccably formed globe like the ones made of glass in hands of tourists. Then, just where the snow stops dead cold, you can see it. The bridal pair, stiff at the church, town hall, far from the minuscule train that is rushing by. Poem of haikus. So let's get back into the comfortable position of receptivity with your hands facing up on your lap and relaxing your shoulders. And shaking it all off. Whatever you carried into the room that's weighing on your mind. Just giving yourself a break for a half an hour. And feeling all of those energies whirling around, those tornadoes settling down like silt back into the body. You might even feel your body taking shape as your awareness comes back into it. You're actually here. And as you arrive, everything just softens away from defensiveness to openness. Muscles of the face, the jaw, around the eyes, even the muscles behind your ears or in the back of your neck. Placing your awareness right at the center of your forehead. Feeling the buzz of aliveness there. And then softening the shoulders. And the chest. Right now I can feel it as if some metal covering is being taken off of my chest, the heaviness. Or as I say, letting down the drawbridge and opening up the castle to whatever may come. And then you feel the muscles in your belly soften. Your legs and your calves. Feel your 2 feet on the floor. These soft padded paws that hold us up somehow. Now that all that silt has gathered together into the body, you just breathe into it. 4 counts in with a little pause at the top. And to the count of 5, breathing out. And as you're breathing, you're feeling the rising and the falling of that conduit between the heart and the head, between what the Dalai Lama teaches in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the vast and the profound. In the compassionate heart is the vast. In the wise head is the profound. It's falling back into the heart, breathing in and rising. That falling and rising as if it were one organ in the body, not two. And in all this delicious softness, you just take the tiniest step back from your thoughts, whatever it is that's flying through your mind right now. And just watching them pass by without grasping onto anything, just letting them pass and not judging them as they go, no matter what they are. And if you're having a hard time doing it, you're doing it. You're paying attention. You're just being aware of your thoughts, following your emotions and letting them go. Hawthorn. It's local snowfall only. It does not stop. It does not stop. How in early May it happens at the edges of fields, of pastures. Sweet smelling blizzard that no weather satellite could ever detect. Impeccably formed globe like the ones made of glass in hands of tourists. Then, just where the snow stops dead cold, you can see it. The bridal pair, stiff at the church, town hall, far from the minuscule train that is rushing by. Oh, that train. That train is what makes it a poem. If it were all the beautiful stillness and containment of the hawthorn tree without something passing through it, it wouldn't be a poem to me. I have a memory of being with Jan at a village in which he lives part-time outside of Berlin. He and his wife, Marita, and I were walking on a little path to the lake. And we realized all of a sudden, all together, that we were walking over what seemed like a megalopolis of frogs, tiny, tiny frogs everywhere. And as we all realized it at the same time, we looked at each other and we looked down and we realized that we were these giant monsters walking over these cities of frogs. And we froze. And we all froze in the same way with our arms out, as if afraid to make even a move in the air. This idea of any false move could harm something so small, we would never know that we did harm to it. And yet that thing is out there. It's all the subject of his new book, Wisp, it's called. It's about these wisps that are just under our feet and that we walk all over, forgetting about. Whether those wisps are plants in a forest or small frogs, whether they're great big wisps like the Mississippi River, which he writes about, or tornadoes, or very, very tiny wisps like the hair on his gym teacher's head in high school. All of these wisps that go unnoticed and are victim to our violence and damage are the subject of his book. And I love this poem, which comes right at the end, this hawthorn poem, which, what is this about? It's about a hawthorn tree in full blossom, snowing in this contained globe. And this is what it looks like when it's in blossom. So on the edges of the fields, you can see these little snowstorms happening. And it reminds him of a snow globe. And in the snow globe, there is a town. And in the town, there is a little magistrate. And in that hall, there is a couple getting married and a tiny train in the background passing by. I even love the language that he uses about local snowfall and does not stop. It's train language. So there is this beautiful formal containment that has to do with the stanzas all being haiku. And it was important for me when I was translating it that they were perfectly 5-7-5 syllabic stanzas. And then there's this thing, this train that's passing through, which is going deeper into this unseen space within the globe. The haiku has that as well. When I said that it was the train that made it a poem, I was thinking about the haiku moment, it's often called, where there's this shift in the third line, and suddenly what we think we're looking at within the context of time and nature turns into something else. And that seems to be what's happening too at the end of the poem. The entire poem has a haiku moment with that train that's rushing by. This poem makes me think of the two wings of mindfulness, compassion and wisdom. And in the way that the Dalai Lama talks about it, in, like I said, in the Tibetan tradition, compassion comes out of the vast and wisdom comes out of the profound. The vast has to do with two kinds of suffering. One is the suffering of suffering, what we perceive in others as pain that we wish to relieve if we can. And the other kind of suffering is the suffering of change, which is watching others achieve in worldly ways, knowing that those achievements of fame and name will not last. And knowing that down the road, there will be suffering for them when they have to give those things up. And Dalai Lama says so smartly that it's a little easier to feel compassionate for others in the suffering of suffering. But when they're suffering in the suffering of change, it's hard not to feel envious that others are gaining things that we are not, but to always remember that impermanence is the name of the game here. And that down the line, whatever it is that's making them happy now in worldly ways is going to have to change for them soon. So that's compassion, and that resides in the realm of the heart. And in the realm of the head is this profound wisdom that none of this is really happening. What the Dalai Lama says is that in the wisdom aspect of the path, we work at deepening our understanding of impermanence, the suffering nature of existence, and our actual state of having no self, of selflessness. And that's what I see happening in this hawthorn tree / snow globe of Jan's poem. It's a beautiful image because contained within the snow globe is this whole world. And joined in that world are these two opposites, this couple getting married, like the two wings of mindfulness, wisdom and compassion, working together, as Rilke says, saluting each other from each other's solitude, working in tandem but apart. And yet it's a snow globe. What's happening really is that outside of this play, this Lila of the snow globe, none of it is real. And in a state of wisdom, we say, we shouldn't worry because none of it is real. But we also recognize that it hurts and that we should have compassion for others in their suffering or in their changes. Hawthorn, it's local snowfall only. It does not stop. It does not stop. How in early May, it happens at the edges of fields, of pastures. Sweet-smelling blizzard that no weather satellite could ever detect. Impeccably formed globe like the ones made of glass in hands of tourists. Then just where the snow stops dead cold, you can see it. The bridal pair, stiff at the church, town hall, far from the minuscule train that is rushing by. Let's get back into our space of receptivity. I want to do a little vast and profound meditation, shifting awareness between those two fields. Your hands resting lightly on your lap. Breathing in to the count of 4. With a pause. And breathing out to 5. Wisdom is a profound insight. It belongs to the realm of the head. The Dalai Lama says, ultimately, all of our difficulties rise from one state of illusion. We believe in the inherent existence of ourselves. and all other phenomena. The thought of this might push all of us into a challenge zone or even a danger zone. It might freak us out. This universe is a snow globe that, like our dreams, it's contained within the head of something that has already imagined it, whether you call it Brahman or something else. But it can also work in the other direction and be an incredible comfort. Like Rilke says, there's no harm in any of this. Of course, there's blood. Blood is the hardest, hard as stone. Sometimes I think that I can't go on, but how good. It seems real, but the incredible comfort is that there isn't any harm in any of this. But that's just one wing. The other wing, which makes flight possible, freedom possible, is that we're here. We're having this experience. We can make it miserable and try to protect what we have, even if it is an illusion, or give it away in the form of compassion and dana and generosity. I guess my question for you all is, where are the little fractures in your wings? Where in what the Dalai Lama is saying and what I just summarized, did you say, having seen a lot of x-rays this month, looking at my broken toe, it's in those fractures that we see these halos of light. And that's the work that we have to do. That's the knitting that needs to be done. Take 3 more breaths. As you're doing that, put your awareness in your left hand. How are you doing that? And now put it in your right hand. And now is for the vast and the profound. Put your awareness in your heart. That coffer of feeling, a place of compassion. Standing in the field with your arms out, not wanting to take a move. Acknowledging the suffering of being seen and unseen. And now put your awareness in your head, in the middle of your forehead again, where we began. You're the dream of the hawthorn tree. This world of dualities, the bride and the groom. Hawthorn by Jan Wagner. Hawthorn, its local snowfall only. It does not stop. It does not stop. How in early May it happens at the edges of fields, of pastures, sweet smelling blizzard that no weather satellite could ever detect. Impeccably formed, globe like the ones made of glass in hands of tourists. Then just where the snow stops dead cold, you can see it. The bridal pair, stiff at the church town hall, far from the minuscule train that is rushing by.